Richard Sandler was born in the Forest Hills neighborhood of Queens, New York City, United States. He moved to Boston in 1968 and worked as an acupuncturist while studying macrobiotics, wherein he learned to cook extremely healthy, vital, seasonal, traditional Japanese-style restaurant food. Sandler had harbored an interest in art since 1955, when during a visit to the Museum of Modern Art with his mother, he saw Claude Monet's water lilies, which he says jackknife opened his eyes wide. He began exploring his newfound passion and became interested in surrealism, which was further accentuated by an unlikely encounter with the great Salvador Dalí at a French restaurant in 1960. However, it wasn't until he was gifted a camera in 1977 by his friend Mary McClelland, in whose home which she shared with her husband, renowned psychologist David he was living at the time, that his photographic journey began. Mary also taught Sandler how to print photographs in her basement darkroom, a process with which he became immediately enamored. Seeing an image come up in the developer hooked me then and still has the same effect now 45 years later. Filled with a burning desire to capture the social pulse on the street, he took a 4-day workshop with renowned street photographer Gary Winogrand, in which Sandler says he learned everything he needed to know about making pictures and took to the sidewalks of Boston and began photographing passionately and prolifically. He found work as a photojournalist before relocating back to his home city 3 years later to pursue his photographic career in earnest. Over the ensuing decades, Sandler traversed the streets of New York, his Leica in hand, and captured his fellow denizens with perceptivity, skill, and humanism that mirrored that of some of his most renowned predecessors. Simultaneously poetic and forthright, his deeply absorbing monochrome images construct a nuanced portrait of the city's ever-changing face. The urban decay of the 1980s, the gentrification and widening class inequality of the decades after that. By 1992, Sandler knew that he had, in his own words, made his best still photographs, and thanks to the influence of a friend, he began experimenting with 8mm video. In 1999, he wrote and directed his first film, The Gods of Times Square, and would go on to make numerous others over the ensuing decade. Though during this period, he continued to photograph, he did so with less passion and prolificacy than before, and after September 11th, he decided to put still photography very much on the back burner, asserting that sound and motion was the only way to grok that horrible time. Today, he predominantly captures landscapes on black and white still film and on Super 8, 16mm and 35 motion film cameras in both color and black and white. However, the deep passion that set him on his photographic journey all those years ago still endures. His book, The Eyes of the City, published in 2016, contains photographs made between 1977 and the weeks before September 11th in New York and Boston, with most from between 1977 and 1992 in New York, and several from Boston. Richard Sandler no longer lives in the city, having relocated to the Hudson Valley, rural region of New York State, several years ago. On those rare occasions when he returns to the city, he still shoots wildly on the street, capturing the city's soul with the same artistry as all those decades ago.